series are with those cars that we just drove from, that was all the sea up until 1989. The third expansion came about in the year 2011 when we had the biggest ship in the world after dredging our port to become deeper was to have facilitated the Royal Caribbean Oasis ship. And that ship at that time was said to be the biggest in the world. As we now speak, the 5 biggest ships in the world come here almost every fortnight. That's every 2 weeks. The Allure, Oasis, Disney Dream, the Norwegian Epic, and the last of the Royal Caribbean clan, the Quantum. This is downtown Nassau. For some of you who are inclined to do some shopping, this is where you can spend your Benjamins. Many of these people will not refuse your appetite for some of the souvenir gifts, the luxurious items, and for you who like good tasting liquor, there is also some exceptional buys. Over to my right, these buildings coming up are those of our Parliament. These buildings were erected in 1812. But the Bahamas has one of the oldest parliaments in the Western Hemisphere, dating back to 1729. To my right, in the middle of this square, is the statue of Queen Victoria. She abolished slavery in 1838, 27 years before America having to achieve the very same. The 3 buildings, the one to the front is the Hansard. It is there that all information is recorded. The middle building is the Senate, and the back building is the lower house. Sure. To my left, the bust in the middle depicts the first local governor general. His name is Sir Milo Bolton Butler. He died in 1979, but he is considered to be a local hero. One of the reasons being, he made it possible for all men to vote. Up until 1958, men could not vote unless they owned land. And for every land a man would have owned, he had that many votes. Supplemented to that, every company a man further owned, he had that many more votes. So for the first time, men voted equally was 1958. Then in 1962, he brought the House down, affording all women to vote. That in itself was phenomenal. And from that day to this, the men in the Bahamas had lots of problems. Not only did the women seek to control the economy, but they have been very aggressive in seeking to control policies. And right now, as we speak, there is a very key issue that we are seeking to have by the government, a referendum in order to change our constitution, allowing women who don't have the privilege, if their child is born out of the Bahamas, to be a Bahamian. So they are seeking equal rights in that regard. We're heading east, and this building coming up to my left, you can see it has natural stones replicating how the original buildings were erected from the coral and limestone that were hand carved from the makeup of our island. All of the buildings to my immediate left, if you can imagine, these were non-existent prior to 1805. This all used to have been the sea. Now it has all been backfilled, as I'm about to show you momentarily. A lot, as we speak, with the boulders to my left, is being backfilled, and construction is soon to be brought about. The Bahamas is a small country, 400,000 people, 248,000 people living on this island. And yes, we do have a lot of benefits and opportunities of which we enjoy. Particularly when you look up at the makeup of our system, it is very, very different. This island is only 7 miles wide, 21 miles long. The population is 248,000 people. And as you would drive through the island, you're going to be afforded the privilege of seeing how we naturally have inculcated 5 different lifestyles. If you are to go to any of the other Caribbean countries, for the most part, you have 2 lifestyles, rich and poor. So that may bring about a very unique experience for you. To the left, you can see the flag of the Bahamas. The black is for the unity and the strength of the people. The gold is for the sun. And the blue is for our turquoise waters. To my right is the Tribune. This is the oldest newspaper company in the city, built in the year 1903. And this, whenever you are to have UPI, meaning headliners that is globally news carried, this entity oftentimes will assist people like CNN, Fox, NBC, CBS, the BBC, etc. To my left, some of you might have remembered the events of Anna Nicole Smith. It is there that she had the birth of her daughter, Danny Lynn. Also, the death of her son, Danielle. To my left here, this old mansion built in 1920 is the Ralph Collins Mansion. It is there that the government is expecting at the end of this year to transform that mansion to being that of the Antiquities Museum. It will be a very unique and long sought for conversion.